So who goes?
Welcome to Stockman Original. I'm Max Ledoux. This is Brian Stockman. Today we're going to make a drinking horn, but that looks really gross. Does it smell bad?
It's pretty gross the way you get it. Sometimes you get they come with the bone in them, and sometimes the bone's already fallen out, which is makes life a whole lot easier. And yeah, it smells pretty bad.
So today we're going to show you how to clean it and seal it so you can use it.
And it won't smell, promise.
And you can drink out of it.
Yeah. And so, now that she's waxed, that's how we make a drinking horn. This is how we use one. Not so well.
You have a drinking problem there.
I do. How long have I had that drinking problem?
First step is finding a horn. So where did you get these horns?
Well, I ran into some people that have a a butcher shop. They've been saving horns, so I was lucky to be able to buy a whole barrel full of them. There are companies that you can look up and find horns online and stuff like that, but personally I'd rather go and get them like this, because you get all kinds of crazy horns, like goat horns, and I don't have any down here, but there were some buffalo horns in here and all kinds of cool stuff.
So what is inside there?
Well, there's a bone core that's attached to the skull. It's part of the skull. See, like horns, an animal that has horns, they're born with the seed of a horn, and it grows as they grow, and it keeps growing on them their whole life. So this bone is permanently attached to the skull, as opposed to an antler. And antlers fall off every year.
Right.
So they have this little, it's like a suture between the actual antler and the skull, and at the right time of year that loosens and the horn gets itchy and falls. They knock it off because it itches.
Right.
So these guys stay on all the time. So connecting the cap, the horn cap, to that bone is blood vessels and membranes, soft tissue, basically.
So the ones that have the
those are nice one.
The bone in them still.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a couple of ways. Sometimes it's decayed enough or dried out enough, or the bugs got into it to the point where I can whack the end of that with a hammer, which pushes it in but breaks it loose from the shell, and then I'll grab it with some pliers and pull it right out.
Oh, like basically the whole thing out.
Yeah. This one here probably a bit fresher. So to get that out, you'd have to boil it. And that would loosen everything up. Or if an animal dies, it's got horns, and eventually, as things do, soft tissue breaks down and the horns come loose that way. So it's all that soft tissue that kind of...
But basically it's like decomposing corpse.
Yeah.
So it smells terrible.
Yeah, so now that we've scared everybody to death about these things, not really, but as you can see in here, there's kind of a darkness coating in there. What the simple solution is, scrape them out just as good as you can, as far down as you can, and then I take beeswax and heat it up in the oven. I have the oven heating now, and what I do is I have a can full of beeswax, and put it on a tray, put that in the oven, and we're going to keep it in there until the wax melts. And then once the wax is melted, I'm going to put the horn, actually I have a couple others that I'm going to do at the same time, and we're going to put the horn that we're going to do in the oven for just a couple minutes, get it nice and warm so it'll receive the wax. It wants to be warmer, not quite as hot as the wax, but with the horn being hot, the wax sticks really good, and beeswax has got a really nice sticky quality to it. Paraffin is not something that I would use for the same thing. So you need to get beeswax and be real careful, because spilling this in an oven can be a problem. Mm-hmm.
By the way, we're going to disenchant some people with the fact that you have a modern oven.
Yeah, well, you could do it in a wood-fired cook stove, but having a nice even heat like this is pretty precious. The tray is to keep things from getting spilled. Theoretically, yeah, that's plenty hot enough. Okay, I'm gonna try and do this without getting any wax on the little hot thing. Pouring the hot wax in the horn actually probably heats the horn up plenty all by its lonesome, but every little bit. Oops, see, that spilled a little bit. We don't want that to happen, but it does. Yeah. Now, while the horn is still hot, and it gives you an opportunity to wipe the excess wax off of the outside, which also kind of puts a nice finish on it. And there it is. It's all waxed and clean and ready to go. Some of it, I don't know if you can see, but almost transparent now because of the oil of the wax and stuff.
Yeah, so you can definitely see right through it.
Yeah, kind of fun. And I learned too that once you get to this stage, keep it like this for a while.
Right.
Yeah, because that means any extra wax that might be, wanting to go someplace goes down to the bottom of the horn instead of running up and making this ugly drip up the inside of your cup. So for this one and for now, I'm going to leave it there. How's that? Now I wouldn't speed up the cooling process either. That could be mentioned.
Don't put it in the refrigerator or outside.
Yeah. I tried speeding up the cooling process one time, taking a glass out of the dishwasher. And I took it outside. There was snow on the porch, and I put the bottom of it in the snow. Tink! Split it right up the middle.
Yeah.
Well, that's something you don't want to do again. That's better. Somebody told me about that once. If you hold the horn like that, it pours fine for a minute, and then all of a sudden everything that's caught up here comes rushing out and down your face and all over.